Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the previous session we have completed the classification of colloids, right? So yes, there are three ways. Based on three ways colloids can be classified. The first way is based on the physical state of dispersed phase and dispersion medium. There are 8 types of colloids. And the second one based on the interaction between dispersed phase dispersion medium. Colloids can be classified into how many types? Colloids can be classified into two types: philic, right? Lyophilic and lyophobic, right? And further we said based on the type of particles, based on the type of particles of a dispersed phase, colloids categorized into three types. Yes or no? First one we said multimolecular, second one macromolecular, and the third one we said associated colloids. Yes, in detail, I have completed the classification of colloids. So first one based on physical state, right? Physical state. Second one based on the interaction between dispersed phase and dispersion medium. And third one is based on the type of particles, or you can say nature of dispersed phase particles. Colloids are classified into multimolecular, macromolecular, and associated colloids. Well, when I consider in brief, okay, multimolecular, here what happens? Size of the particle, smaller particles of size less than 1 nanometer, okay, smaller particles of size less than 1 nanometer, when they aggregate, it leads to formation of a particles of colloidal range, and it results into multimolecular colloids. Second one, macromolecular. Here size of the particles is already in the range of colloidal range. What is that? 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer, or I can say 10 raised to minus 9 meter to 10 raised to minus 6 meter. So such macromolecules when added to, okay, such macromolecules when added to suitable dispersion medium, resultant will be macromolecular colloids. And the third one I said regarding associated colloids. Third one in associated colloids. These associated colloids are also called micelles. ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಾ? Yes. What are micelles? Micelles are basically, yes, what are these? Are electrolytes. Okay, a type of colloidal particles formed by electrolytes. As I said here, there are some substances which act as a strong electrolyte in their low concentration. Okay, what is the first thing to be remembered regarding micelles? So whenever we think of micelles, yes, here there are some substances which simply act as a strong electrolyte at their lower concentration, but at high concentration, at a high concentration, what happens? These electrolytes, they aggregate themselves. Okay, they aggregate themselves, results into formation of a colloidal system called associated colloids, or even called micelles. Well, now I'm going to continue the part in this session. The continuous part of is the mechanism of micelle formation. So yes, you briefed out regarding associated colloids, or against the micelles. Now here in this session, I'm going to deal with a continuous part of the chapter, that is mechanism of a micelle formation. Means how actually these micelles are formed. Well, when you think of mechanism, you have to take an example. So what is the example? Well-known example for micelle formation? Yes, soap solutions are well-known example. So here micelles are usually formed by soaps and detergents. Okay, so if I consider micelle formation, it can be better understood by with the help of soaps and detergents. Well, here if I consider soap solution, basically what are soap? Okay, what is soap means? A soap is a sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acids. Okay, with the help of saponification process, ಯಾವ್ದದು? With the help of saponification. Okay, saponification. Okay, with the help of saponification, soaps are prepared. Well, what are soaps here? These are the either sodium or, okay, or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids. Okay, please remember what are soaps means. Yes, soaps is a sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acids, or I can say long chain fatty acids. And in general, how soaps are represented means, yes, soaps are generally represented as a RCOO minus Na, the sodium soaps, and even I can say RCOO minus K plus, okay, potassium soaps. So sodium soaps and potassium soaps. Now yes, generally soaps are represented with a general formula, or you can say general how they are represented RCO minus N, or you can say RCO minus K plus. As we said here, soaps is nothing but they are the sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acids. Well, is a general representation. Now here, well-known example for soap. Well-known example is the sodium stearate. Okay, what is a well-known example for soap? Sodium stearate is the well-known example. Yes, what is the formula here? Formula for sodium stearate is C17H35 COO minus Na plus, means it is sodium stearate. Similarly, even we can write potassium stearate also, C17H35 CO minus K plus, right? So here the well-known example for soap is, it is the sodium stearate. Okay, well, so what is the formula for sodium stearate? C17H35 COO minus Na plus, right? Now if we consider how it looks like, sodium stearate, say it is a long chain fatty acid. How many carbon atoms are there? Say we said formula C17H35 COO minus Na plus, means there is a long hydrocarbon chain present in the molecule. Okay, if I consider the molecular structure, okay, see here there will be long hydrocarbon part, CH3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So as we said here, C17 is C17, H35. If you go on counting the hydrogens, yes, there will be 35 hydrogens. CO minus this group, COO minus and Na plus, right? So overall the representation of the molecule C17H35 COO minus Na plus, it is a sodium. Now here when you look at the molecule, what I can say, so this part, what it is a hydrocarbon part. C17H35 part is the hydrocarbon. This portion, the molecule is a hydrocarbon, right? Yes, when this sodium stearate is dissolved in water, what happens is sodium stearate C17H35 COO Na, okay, is the molecule. When dissolved in water, so when dissolved in water, what happens? Yes, it dissociates, since it is an electrolyte, right? An ionic compound, so it readily dissociates into two parts. What is that? C17H35 COO minus. What is this? Stearate ion. Okay, stearate ion is the one compound, and what is another one? Na plus, sodium ions will be produced. Well, now if we consider the molecule as a whole, as I said here, there will be two parts, right? So one is, say, hydrocarbon part. What is that? C17H35. C17H35 part. It is the hydrocarbon part. So we know that hydrocarbon. Okay, hydrocarbon. Say hydrocarbon part. Hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon means, what is the nature of hydrocarbons? Okay, they are polar or non-polar? Yes, hydrocarbons are non-polar in nature. Hydrocarbon part is a non-polar. Non-polar means it is hydrophobic in nature. So please remember regarding hydrocarbon part of the molecule. Yes, the hydrocarbon part is non-polar, therefore it is hydrophobic in nature, means it is water loving or water hating. Yes, it is water hating, or even I can say water repelling. Okay, water repelling part. Now, if we consider COO minus group, carboxylic group, COO minus, or you can say C double bond O minus. Okay. So if I consider this carboxylic group, it is a charge bond, right? Is going to carry a charge, negatively charged. When you look at the water molecule of a water, yes, when you look at the molecular structure and charge distribution, since oxygen is more electronegative, so it's going to carry partial negative charge, and hydrogens are going to carry partial positive charges. It means, say water is polar or non-polar? It is a polar. Water is a polar. And what about this part, the CO minus group, since it's going to carry charge, therefore we say it is also polar in nature. Yes, then if you think of interaction, yes, the COO minus group is polar in nature since it is ionic. Okay, polar means is going to readily interact with water, therefore we say it is a hydrophilic, water loving, water attracting part. Okay, so generally it is named as a hydrophobic tail and hydrophilic head. What's the tail part? It is C17 H35. Okay, in the molecule C17 H35. Okay, H35 COO minus. So this part is called tail and CO minus part is called head. Okay, just to understand easily that molecule is, okay, molecule is specified tail part of the molecule and head part of the molecule. So the C17 H35 part is considered as a tail and it is hydrophobic in nature, and CO minus group is considered as a head part of the molecule and it is hydrophilic in nature. Well, I hope you got it. If I consider soaps and detergents, yes, the molecule of a soaps and detergents, they contain two parts. What is that? Hydrophobic as well as hydrophilic parts. Now here, in case of sodium stearate, what we said? So, in case of sodium stearate, it has a hydrophobic tail, which means it is water hating part. So it stays away from the water. Since is water hating, therefore it always wish to remain away from the water molecules. And if I consider head part, what we said, head part is water loving part, that is it is hydrophilic in nature, therefore it remains attached to water. Say whenever these soap molecules are added to water, what happens? Tail part wish to remain away from the water while the head part of the molecule wish to remain attached to the water molecules, right? Well, just if we consider micelle formation, yes, in the last session itself I mentioned formation of micelle takes place, okay, only above a particular temperature. Okay, yes or no? Formation of micelle takes place only above a particular temperature is called Kraft temperature. Okay, similarly, one more point I have said about the formation of micelle takes place only above a particular concentration. What is that concentration called? CMC, critical micelle concentration. So two points to be remembered while dealing with the micelle formation. Now, say how actually micelle formation takes place means, say at low concentration, at a low concentration, say we are maintaining critical temperature. Say at low concentration, what happens? There are less number of stearate ions present, right? Means I can say low concentration in the sense here below CMC, okay, below critical micelle concentration, okay. At low concentration, what happens? All soap molecules will be present only on the surface of a water molecule. They just aligned only on the surface of a water molecule, such that how they will be aligned? The head part is immersed. Okay, head part is immersed in the water, which is immersed in the water, while tail is projecting away from the water. Okay, just I will go through the sentence. So the RCO minus ions are therefore present on the surface with their COO minus group, okay, carboxylic group, CO minus groups in the water, and the hydrocarbon chain part, as I said, C17H35 part, hydrocarbon chain part, okay, is staying away from it and remains at the surface. So here what happened, all head part will be immersed in the water while tail is projecting or which remains outside the surface of a water. So it happens at a low concentration. Okay, well, now if I consider at CMC, okay, at or above critical missile concentration, if you maintain critical missile concentration, what happens? Say here, molecules, what happened to the molecule instead of staying at the surface, now what happened at CMC, molecules penetrated, all these steerate ions, okay, steerate ions are penetrated into the bulk of a water. Okay, they entered into the bulk of water. Now when they enter the bulk of water, as we already said, yes, there will be two parts, right? Head part and remaining is tail part. Now head is hydrophilic in nature. Okay, hydrophilic in nature. But what about tail? Tail is, the tail part is hydrophobic in nature. Therefore, how they arranged, how they arrange in the bulk of water means here all the molecules are aligned, all steerate ions they aligned in such that, okay, they arranged in this such that, say here, they aggregate to form a spherical shape. First thing, once they enter into bulk, what happens? There will be formation of a sphere. Okay, sphere of ions. So what happens? Once they enter at or above CMC, all the steerate ions enter into bulk of water molecule. Once they enter, first what happens? Immediately there will be formation of a sphere of ions. Okay, those ions aggregate themselves and it leads to formation of a sphere. Yes, what is the characteristics of sphere formed here? The characteristics of sphere formed is, say here, the surface of a sphere. Consider, so if it is the sphere, the outer surface of the sphere contains which group? The head part. The head part is projecting outside the sphere and is in contact with the water molecule. Okay, outside. What about tail? Tail is projecting inward. All tail molecules are projecting inward to the sphere, which means tail is hydrophobic in nature. Therefore, it remains inside the sphere, while head is going to appear on the surface of a sphere. So, whatever the aggregate formed, it is called missile. Whatever the aggregate formed is called missile. Yes, how many steerate answer will be present in a one missile? If I consider one missile, okay, one missile contains 100, minimum 100 or more steerate ions. They aggregate, it leads to formation of a one missile. Okay, so we got the mechanism. So if I consider mechanism of missile formation, say at low concentration, all the soap molecules are just aligned on the surface that head is penetrated, okay, into the water while tail is projecting away from the water and it remains outside the surface. Okay, and if I consider at CMC, at or above CMC, what happens? All the molecules they get into the bulk of a water. All ion molecules they get into the bulk of a water and it leads to formation of a sphere of ions. There will be formation of a sphere in which head part projecting outside surface of a sphere, all the tail parts are, okay, projecting inward of a sphere, so that head remains in contact with water while tail remains away from the water molecules, and such aggregates formed is called missile. And if I consider one missile, is one missile contains 100 or more number of steerate ions. Okay, well, now as we said here, hydrocarbon part, hydrocarbon chain point inward, okay, inward, or you can see center of the sphere. And what about head parts? CO minus group, which part remains outside the sphere, means which remains on the surface of a sphere. Okay, then the aggregate is called ionic missile, or simply it is called a missile. Okay, well, now similarly if we consider detergents as like soaps, detergent, a well known example for detergent is sodium lauryl sulfate. Sodium sulfate, yes, what is the formula? CS3 CH2 11 times, okay, CH3, CH2 11 times, SO3 minus Na plus, sodium lauryl sulfate. So here also what happens once it splits, okay, lauryl ion, lauryl sulfate ion, okay, what happens, this lauryl sulfate ion again it contains two parts, hydrocarbon part and, okay, ionic head, SO3 minus ionic head and remaining hydrocarbon part. Similarly here also at low concentration, head penetrates into the water while tail sitting outside the surface, okay, if I consider surface, head penetrating into the, okay, head get into the surface, but what about tail part, tail part just penetrating, is projecting away from the surface. But if we consider at CMC, at or above CMC, all the molecules get into bulk of water and it leads to formation of a sphere. What that sphere contains? 100 or more number of molecules. Such here, how the molecules are aligned? Head is projecting outside the sphere and tail is projecting inward to the sphere. Well, yes. So it's regarding mechanism of a micelle formation. Now if we consider cleansing action of soap. Yes, what do you mean by cleansing? When you think of dirty hands or dirty surface of any cloth. So what happens? Dirt is present on the surface. When you look at the diagrams here, grease stains. Okay, grease stains are present on a hand. So what we'll do is we used to take a soap, we apply soap on the hand. Okay, when we wash our hands, what happened to the stain? All stains will be removed from our surface. Means here what happened? Do you want to know how does soap work on removing grease stains? How that stain is removed, where the stain goes after washing with the soap means, see here, that is deal with a concept called a cleansing action of a soap. So what it says, the cleaning action of a soap, the cleaning action of a soap is due to the fact that soap molecules form a micelle around the oil droplet. Okay, please, I'll repeat. The cleaning action of a soap is due to soap molecules form a micelle around the oil droplet. So if I consider grease or oil, okay, what it is? It is dirt. Generally, it is called dirt. What it is? Dirt contains some hydrocarbon compounds. What is dirt? Dirt contains some hydrocarbons. Okay. Well, hydrocarbon, again we know that hydrocarbon means it is hydrophilic or hydrophobic. It is hydrophobic. It is hydrophobic in nature. Okay, repelling. Water repelling in nature. Now, how cleaning action of soap is done means whenever, if you consider the dirt or you can say grease, generally grease or oil or any dirt particle which is adhered to the surface, right, any external surface. See here, say in the diagram, say it is the dirt present on the surface, grease stain present on the surface. Okay, now what happens when it comes in contact with the soap molecules? That surface, when it comes in contact with the soap molecules, is, say consider lauryl sulfate ions, okay, detergent, lauryl sulfate ion. So lauryl sulfate ion, here again there will be tail part, right, there will be tail part and a head part. Now what about tail part, which is hydrophobic, and what about head part, which is hydrophilic in nature, right? Now what is the nature of this grease or stain? Yes, nature of grease or stain is it is hydrophobic in nature, right, which is hydrophobic in nature. So here we know the concept called like dissolves, like. So according to this concept, the hydrocarbon part readily interact with the grease, while what about head part? The head part remains outside the grease. It do not interact with the grease, okay, molecules. Therefore, what we can say here, when you look at the cleaning action, yes, this stearate ion, or you can say, as I said here, there will be two parts, hydrophilic part, which loves the water or it interacts with the water, so it will remain in the water surface. And what tail part I said, yes, tail is hydrophobic part, which is hydrophobic in nature. Therefore, it hates the water, so it will attach to grease. It penetrate into the that grease surface. Well, now here these soap molecules, they readily get penetrated into the oil droplet, or you can say grease, so that at or above critical missile concentration, what happens? The entire grease droplet, or you can say oil droplet, that entire grease droplet or oil droplet is get surrounded by stearate ions, so that what happens while washing, that oil droplet will remove from the surface. Okay, in what form removed? How that oil droplet will be removed means it is removed in the form of a emulsions. So what I'm saying here, the dirt, or you can say oil droplets present on the glass surface is removed. How? In what form? It is removed in the form of emulsions. Please remember this. Well, so that is done here. Okay, as I said here, the grease droplet surrounded by stearate ions and will be removed. It will be removed along with the running water. In what form? In the form of a emulsions. Right. Negatively charged sheath around the globules prevent them from coming together and forming aggregates. All the molecules, okay, since all these molecules are going to carry identical charge, negative charge, say it is one more oil droplet where head is remains on the surface, head remains on the surface. Then what about tail? Tail is get penetrated into the that oil droplet or grease droplet. Now here, what is the charge? It is also negatively charged. First molecule is also negatively charged. Now, due to like charges, okay, as all the molecules contains same charge, therefore they do not aggregate. Rather, they remains in their ionic form itself in a water, and they will be removed along with the running water. Okay, well. Now, thus, what we can say, the soap helps in emulsification and washing away oils as well as fat present on the surface. Okay. Now, coming to the MCQs, the cleaning action of a soap is due to, okay, cleaning action of soap is due to formation of missile, okay, formation of bubble, presence of hydrophilic part only, and presence of hydrophobic part only. Yes, what is the answer for it? It is because formation of a missile. So first is right choice. So with this, I'm going to conclude about this session. Again, in the next session, we'll discuss some other concept. Well, thank you.